Good evening. Good evening, Steve. Saw your message there. Right. Just getting the last little bit set up. Right. Cool. Right. Okay. Looks like we're live. We've got the chat going. So time to get on some good old-fashioned hobby hangout time. How are we doing, everyone? I've got a couple of figures painted. That's from a video that will be out on Sunday. And tonight I'm going to be tackling the other four strips that go in this battalion. And if I can get them all done tonight, then should have that second battalion done by the end of the weekend. And we'll see, maybe even a third. Who knows? Ian Johan, 500 bases in 1 hour. Proud dad moment. Excellent effort. Like that. I take it the girls have been working hard this evening, getting those bases done for you, so that's good. And yeah, how's everybody's week going? Been a very busy couple of days for me, even though I had Monday off on holiday. Come back to a lot of work, which I sort of was expecting, but today I did a 9-hour day today. Managed to get in really early, and yeah, did a long day, long day. So I'm really pleased to be on the live stream tonight. Genuinely, really just pleased to be able to chill out, rest, relax, chat to some fellow like-minded people in terms of the hobby, and genuinely, generally enjoy some time away from work. So that's me. I suppose really before we get too far into the hobby hangout tonight, I really should say a huge welcome and a huge thank you to everybody who has been watching my videos over the last 10 days. So 10 days ago, in case you missed it, I put out my discussions episode, which is a bit of a new theme that I'm doing on the channel, where I'll discuss something, sort of a topic that is, about the hobby. And yeah, so that's the plan. And 10 days later, I've had 5,000 views of that video. And I know that isn't viral, but for me and this channel, that feels viral. I mean, 5,000. If you think my most successful video before this last 10 days was probably the truncheons and I forget what truncheons and flat caps review of the box that I picked up, and that, in however many months it's been, has still done I think it's about 1,300 views. So this video that I put out, not Sunday just gone, but Sunday before that, yeah, 5,000 views already. It has led to 50 new subscribers, that video alone, which is just, for me, phenomenal. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how grateful I am for your support, and how sort of amazed I am by how much support I've had. So really appreciate it. I must be doing something right, because I actually didn't think the video was that great. I didn't expect it to do very well at all, let alone as well as it did. Now the other thing is, on the back of that, again, I thought, well, okay, we'll have a bit of a blip, a positive blip on YouTube, and then it'll go downhill. But this week's video, which has been up 3 days, has already hit about 300 views. I think might even be on its way to 400, which again is really, really impressive for a video of mine. I usually, just to give you sort of an idea, when I put a video up, if it can get in the first week, maybe 2 weeks, if it can get to 100 odd views, I'm taking that as sort of the benchmark of, yeah, happy with that. But yeah, Richard, good evening. How are you? Yeah, Johan, that is a lot of views. I can't believe 5,000 people have wanted to watch my video. But obviously, there was a discussion point there around scale. And I think it brought a lot of opinions out. There was a lot of comments on the videos, sorry, on the shares of the video across Facebook. I put it in lots of different groups, which probably helped. And there was a lot of opinion out there about scale, which is great. So basically, my plan is going forward is to do one of these discussion videos every month. And I'm kind of reaching out to you guys as the community as to what other topics are there out there that I could talk about. One of the thoughts I had was about age and how age affects kind of how you view the hobby, or how maybe you go about doing your hobbying. In terms of, as your eyesight fades, do you go for bigger scales versus smaller scales? You know, as you get older, you've got maybe a bit more money but less time. Does that also affect how you have you get my words out in a minute? How you go about your hobby? Maybe people turn to professional figure painters um, versus doing all the painting and terrain building yourself. Maybe that changes. So yeah, some questions that I think, or some topics that I can do an episode on, I think will be a lot of fun, and hopefully quite popular. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. Right. I don't know why I'm starting with the command strip tonight, but I am. We'll see how that goes. What's Johan saying? My eyesight has been failing since age 5, and now I'm losing sight in my left. So 3 meals the perfect choice round. Oh no. Oh bless you. I don't know. Like, I've probably been going for the smaller scales because now I've got when I was mid-20s, I had my own place, bit of a bachelor pad. I had more storage. It was only me really. Um, and as I've got older, I've had less space dedicated to just solely me. And in some ways, that has meant that I guess I've had to think about, like, how much space I've got for my hobby stuff. And to some degree, that has um, kind of pushed me down the path of small scales, but also the fact that, small scales I find um, enjoyable. I'm able to achieve um, actually finishing armies where, um, in bigger scales, I haven't always finished armies. So that's been quite positive, I think. So lots of positives about the smaller scale, even though I forgot where I was going with that. So yeah, even though I've got, like, money, I could, I guess, buy bigger figures and stuff like that, all that good jazz. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the smaller scale stuff. Hence a lot of the stuff that I do on my channel. Anyway, I'm going to stop babbling for a second. I'm going to read the comments and just get this strip of figures done. Sorry, just concentrating. Right, let's catch up on it. So, Richard, I find as my eyes age, I just need more light. Yeah, so I mean, maybe that's a point. As we get older, we invest more in the equipment that allows us to do the hobby. I never, when I was younger, would have been spending money on day glow lights, um, and now lighting is a really important part of what I do. And you know, YouTube wasn't really my hobby, but it's as much as part of what I do hobby wise as the actual wargaming and the painting and stuff. So maybe that's an angle that I could talk about on the video. Um, I know some people, they buy kind of magnifying glasses that they wear while they paint. Again, to me, previously when I was younger, money going to that meant money didn't go to figures or paints, or terrain. So um, as long as I can still recognise all NATO and Warsaw Pact stuff, I don't mind lifelong training on the shapes due to the hobby. I never painted without any daylight lamp anymore. Oh, I never paint without. Yeah. As I'm getting older, I'm just making bigger armies. I guess we're compensating. Oh, I think there's like, as you get older and life throws curveballs at you, you make different decisions, and they might not be the same decisions that you made when you were younger. Or if your younger self was put in these situations, would they have made the same choices you do now? You know, it's a really good question. Um, I see some people who are young parents who are making choices about the hobby because actually they're picking stuff that their kids might be interested in. And so, to encourage the children to get into the hobby, they are picking specific games, specific scales, figures, all that good stuff that the kids are going to enjoy as well. Maybe things like Blood Bowl, maybe things like 40k, Bolt Actions. Another popular one that seems to be getting a lot of younger people into the hobby, which is all really encouraging stuff. So again, maybe that is a factor. Yeah. So there we go. If I can rabbit on the channel, you know, about it, I think I will. And hopefully, these discussions and these hobby times, really useful for me, really helpful because it gives me thoughts that I can then bring out in the videos. So thank you all for your support as always. You guys help me build terrain, you help me paint, all sorts of good stuff that you guys help me with. So really appreciated. And Richard, I should say welcome because I'm not sure I've seen you in one of our live streams before, unless I've missed you. Apologies. So really nice to have you along with us this evening, and obviously greatly appreciate you getting involved in the chat. Personally, in the kind of weeks that we've been doing this, the months now maybe I've been doing this. It's just really nice to have a community that gets engaged. So yeah, thank you. Good evening, Gabs. Welcome. A first appearance indeed, Richard. Gabs, I think, have we seen you before? Can't remember. But welcome anyway. More than welcome to join us, and really appreciate you being here. Steve says, I wonder how long the medieval bubble is going to last. Good question. As soon as the zombies return back. Yeah. Right, let's move on to some trousers on these chaps. I have got some 2 mil goodness here. I don't know if you can see that, how clearly that's coming out, but I've got some siege towers and some cave trolls. At some point I need to get them onto some bases. So if I get these finished in good time tonight, I will I shall tackle some of them Right, where are we at? Trying to remember how I'm doing the trousers. Okay, let's do this one with lots of white trousers. Lovely. So I am, I think, planning to go. I'm hoping to go to Warfare Show, which is in November, and very much going to be picking up some more of these 6mm figures from Bacchus. Just debating whether to do. Well, I definitely need to get more British. That will definitely be on the list, but I'm not sure whether to get some French as well, just to give myself something to aim for later down the road. So I need to have a think about that. Not been on here before. Well, welcome, Gabs. Really appreciate your joining us, and hopefully you enjoy the live stream as well. We generally do this pretty much every Wednesday. Some Wednesdays I'm not around just because of work commitments, or sometimes life, but generally, if I'm away with work, then this doesn't happen. But generally speaking, try to put an hour in on a Wednesday night, and generally others join me, and we have some good discussion, some chat. Steve and Johan generally are helping me make sure I don't muck it all up. So yeah, Crisis in Antwerp this Saturday. Looking forward to seeing what is put on show. Brilliant, Johan. I've heard lots of good things about Crisis, and maybe one day I will I'll make it out there, make it over, and obviously meet up with you and hang out. But it'd be good to see the show as well. And I've heard lots of really positive things about it. Right, these are coming on pretty well. I just love the speed at which I can get through them. It's very refreshing to paint a fairly good size force in, or quite a few figures in quite a quick time. So yeah, loving these. On this guy here. Watch the brush in a minute. So this Sunday, just for those who are curious and interested, so I should say, Gabs and Richard, one of the benefits of coming onto the live stream and joining me is I'm really bad at giving the game away. So if you come on a live stream on a Wednesday, generally I'll probably tell you a little bit of inside news of about videos coming up or projects that I'm working on. So any surprise that I've sort of left for the videos, I generally ruin. But yeah, all joking aside, I guess part of the advantage of being on the live stream is, I guess, getting to chat with me, if that's an advantage. Some people might not think so. Yeah. Right, let's do some brown trousers. And what colour did I do that guy as well? Let's do some brown trousers on him. The old drummer boy. So yeah, painting guide out this Sunday coming for this week's video, and yeah, hopefully it'll be well received. We shall see. Let's do this one. quite funny when I was filming it, because I filmed it with one of these strips that I painted, and then I wasn't very happy with it. The video in wasn't great, just because I was filming against this mat, and the colours didn't pop very well. So in the end, I ended up painting a second strip up and recording that, and putting some white paper on the mat just to give something for the figures and the colours to reflect against. So yeah, that's why I've got 2 strips done already. We will see what happens. I mean, I think 6mm is really hard to film. I didn't want to zoom in too much, because then the quality of the picture just goes a bit rubbish. So hopefully the video will be useful, and hopefully people will enjoy it and find it useful. We shall wait and see. Right, what we got? There's still plenty to see. Meet and buy until the money runs out. Yeah, fortunately, the money just doesn't last as much as my interest. But there we go. Gabs, I'm working on 2mm terrain and some burrows and badgers minis at the moment. Fantastic. What 2mm terrain are you working on? Because that sounds rather interesting. Not sure if you've seen any of my 2mm videos, but I've got Osgiliath sat over to my right, and Minas Tirith is in the other room. So yeah, but no, that sounds interesting. And Burrows and Badges is one of those games that it's always very tempting, but the idea of having to start essentially a whole brand new world with new terrain and new figures just puts me off, even though it seems like a really fun narrative behind it. Feel free to tell me that I'm missing out. Always happy to take suggestions from others. And speaking of other good people, we've got Robert. Good evening. You've not missed too much, Robert. We are just talking about all sorts of good stuff. I am painting more 6mm Napoleonic British tonight, in the attempts to get a 2nd battalion painted. I've only actually got 2 more in the pack that I got for my birthday. So I basically got a pack from Bacchus for, what is it, just under a tenner, and that is enough for me to do 4 battalions, and so far I've done 2. So yeah, just working on getting these guys painted up. So what were we talking? Sorry, I'm really bad at this. B&B, you can use a lot of your fantasy scenery, I reckon. Yeah, to be fair, I mean, I assume you could set it in a woodlands, and therefore a lot of your trees and your that kind of terrain would fit quite nicely. I could be wrong. Gabs, maybe you can give us a bit of a hint as to what sort of terrain you use. And I take it it's in 28mm, not 2mm. So, I mean, I'm sure loads of people have woodland terrain in 28mm. That's that one done. And last one. Right, sorry, Richard. Nice to have company whilst in hobby zone. Absolutely, really, really enjoy having the company. I'm getting better at liking painting, but in this sort of setting where I've got people chatting and all that, it's really good fun. And I must at some point. I've been talking to several people about joining me live on the live stream, so they kind of do a bit of video like this, and we all, there's enough of us in it that we can sort of chat between ourselves. So it's not just my dull voice that you hear. We'll add some other dull voices in there as well. No, only joking. Yeah. Anyway, so Richard is doing computer work, 3D printing Vietnam choppers, and 2D printing decals. That sounds very exciting. Gabs, yeah, I've got quite a lot of terrain for badgers and burrows, or burrows and badgers. Not got to play it much due to lack of time. Okay, check out your 2 million videos. Super, thank you for that. Yeah, time. Isn't time an interesting one? And again, maybe this plays into that discussion video, my next one, where I could talk about time as a factor as well. Because we all know that, I guess, as you get older, you get more responsibilities. Time is one of those factors that fades out, whereas perhaps money might actually increase as you get older, although maybe you've got less disposable income because you've got more responsibilities like children, grandchildren. Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into it, and I think some of them are definitely age related. So I think that'd be a good topic. Maybe that'll be next month's topic, which is not many miles off, November. I will probably, if I go to Warfare, do a show report because they're usually quite popular. And I'll be doing some more on my Napoleonic figures army collection. I do need to get some sort of box to put all these in. I have got some spare ones lying around, but I'm just not sure whether I want to go with those or not. So I need to have a think about that. Anyway, let's get back to the comments. Robert, it's good job you have good eyes. Painting Guide comes out on Sunday, Robert. But I personally, I don't think they're necessarily. It's not that these are difficult to see. I think, but then I've got good eyesight, so maybe I'm not the best person to judge that. But I don't know. To me, it's when you're just putting dots down, it's easier than trying to get the details like you would for 28 mil. But again, I guess it's all perspective and whatnot. So yeah, quite possibly. Steve, Burrows and Badges are some of the best miniatures out there, worth getting a few just to paint. Yeah, you know what? I have been tempted with doing things like that where you just go, oh, actually they're nice figures. I'm just going to get some to paint, and that's it. Because there are some really nice figures, and yeah, Burrows and Badges look like they've got lots of character in them. Well worth a paint. Right, how are we doing? Good. I need to come back really to these to paint the piper, no, the drummer, and all sorts. Right, let's get these. Let's get this done. And what else? Right, what else we got here? Vietnam choppers, you say? Always good. Gab says, yeah, they're a joy to paint terrain wise. Got 3D printed and a couple of scratch built dens. Oh, nice. Maybe this scratch built would be quite fun to do. I know Johan would be very good at those. He's very good at scratch building. What else? Sorry, just concentrating for a second. That musket broke top off, so it looks more like a rifle, but there we go. Lovely. I think they need to go on the back rank. Oh, excuse me. Gab says, which naps are you painting today? So these are 6mm Bacchus figures, and these are British Line Infantry for the Peninsular War. So these are the kind of 1809, I think, to about 1812, if my memory serves me correctly. But anybody in the comments who knows better than me, please feel free to correct me. I will not be insulted. In fact, I will be very grateful that somebody knows better than me and can help me out. So But yeah, I'm really enjoying these, to be fair, Gabs. Just really fun figures. I think what I'm really enjoying is the kind of collectiveness of smaller scales, a bit like the 2 mil. Um, when you start painting them and putting them together, um, they just look great. They're a lot of fun. Just put that one up there. Don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. Also not sure if I'm holding it in the right place, but yeah, those are my. Let's try that. Is that any better? Sorry, just waiting for my laptop to catch up. Yeah, slightly better. But yeah, I mean, I just like the look of them, and they're really quick. I'm getting these painted in about an hour and a half per battalion. Um, yeah, I'm not sure there's any other scale that I would have been able to paint that sort of size unit in such a quick time. So yeah, really enjoying them. Let's catch up on the chat. Luke, well, evening, Luke. Good to see you. Don't you worry about tardiness. There is no such thing as tardiness on this channel. It is just you are here or you're not. And if you're not, we hope you're well. Um, and if you are here, brilliant. Welcome and joining in. It's good to have you along. I should say, because we're a bit further into the chat now, half an hour in, a big, big, big thank you to everybody who engaged with my videos in the last 10 days. As I was saying at the beginning, I was absolutely knocked back. The fact that my discussion video about scales has had 5,000 views in the first 10 days, which I think is actually a new record for a video. I've had videos that have got lots of views, but never in that shorter space of time. So I really, really appreciate it. And in terms of subscribers, I think I've had something like 50 new subscribers in the last 10 days off that video alone, which is amazing. And I'm just knocked back by it. And I really should add, I think it's YouTube's telling me in the last 28 days, which is generally what it gives me in terms of metrics, I've had 110 new subscribers. So, it's massive for the channel. It's great in terms of the growth, and algorithms and all that good stuff. But I think as much as that's amazing, I love the fact that uh, this hobby hangout, the live stream, the community that is attending it and the engagement has been growing as well. So, and that's all down to you guys. It's not me. So, thank you ever so much. And I'm gonna stop yabbing on for a second now. Let's go back to the comments. Johan says, "Evening, Luke." Luke says, "Bless you, sir. Rough snuff powder." Oh, thank you, because I sneezed. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's too much powder on these. Johan, 20 lashes will do. Robert, they do look great. Thank you very much. Gabs, looking good. Thank you. Luke, I guess size does matter after all. Indeed. And yeah, it turned out that yeah, all I had to do was put up a thumbnail that said "Does size matter?" and 5,000 people clicked on it. So probably mostly men, but there we go. We'll stop at that point with all the innuendos. Robert, well done. Well done. You do good videos. Really appreciate that, Robert. Sometimes I don't always feel I do good videos, so it's really nice to hear that sort of feedback. And when the numbers are like they have been over the last week and a half, it's difficult to argue against that. As they say, the numbers don't lie. So yeah, or is it hips? I think it was hips when Shakira told me. But yeah, really, really grateful to the community for its support. Um, I'm sure I've said this before, but sometimes when I see on YouTube channels like Zorbazorb and Storm of Steel, and there's other really good YouTube ones. In fact, Mackie, who has been on in our chat before, when you see their videos, Mel the Train Shooter is another one. They've got loads of subscribers, tens of thousands of subscribers, and their videos get, you know, thousands of views within the first 24 hours, and sometimes it makes me think I'm never going to get there. But yeah, to see that video go, what I'm deeming viral for my channel, was just one of those moments where I thought, well, maybe there is a place for me in the sort of war gaming YouTube community. So yeah, all very good. Right, let's get back to these wonderful figures and you wonderful people. Now, 35 minutes in, and I'm actually really pleased at how quickly I'm getting through these. So that is encouraging. We are going to have a look at the command base to see what I did. I did put that on there. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to do that one itself. Let's do all the do some tunics. We've got a white strap there, so let's just paint that in. Which way is that strap going? That's going to go across there. That's going to go across there. So a little bit up there, a little bit on the arms, and go down there as well. Again, I'm leaving quite a lot of the black showing, but I'll mention that in the paint tutorial. That's coming out Sunday. Shameless plug, I know. There we go. Right, let's do some cuffs for the facings. Try to get my eyes not to be too tired. And the facings are really an interesting one because, as one of the things I say on my paint tutorial, which you'll see on Sunday, is that in many cases you don't actually see the yellow, the facing, but if they weren't there, you'd notice they weren't there. How about that for a thought? And it's check out other figures that maybe you've painted where you've painted a detail that you don't actually see, but if it wasn't there, you would notice it wasn't there. I might be just talking a load of rubbish, but it's something I've noticed painting these 6mm is when I haven't done the facings, absolutely notice they're there. But if I put the unit together on their movement tray and I hold them at arm's length away, can't see them. Cannot see the facing for love nor money. Maybe it's my eyes. Luke, but I've watched Seventh Son when he celebrated 500 subscribers. They all started like this. Congrats and well deserved. You know what, Luke? That's a really good point, and really appreciate you reminding me of that. Everybody starts somewhere, and how they get from that point to where they are now interests me because I'm really curious about that. But the fact that my subscriber numbers are going up, my views are going up, and I've got so many wonderful people here on the live stream with me tonight, just goes to show that I'm doing something right, and I'll take that as a positive, because why not? No point getting upset about it or anything. This is a hobby at the end of the day, and it's supposed to be fun. Johan, yeah, going to be fun painting numbers on 3mm Soviet tanks, little grey white blobs it is then. You know what, the more I move away from actually painting properly and just move into little dots and blobs of paint, I genuinely think my painting's actually getting better that way. Probably worse technique, better product at the end of it. So yeah, but yeah, live and learn. Right, cool. Time to go back to the cross straps. I think I may well be in doing some 2mm before the end of this video, because I am absolutely blasting through these. So stand by, because you might see some 2mm action tonight. And that's a bit of an interesting thing to say, isn't it? Which way does that go? Let's go that way. Lovely. I do think if people haven't tried 6mm before, I'd really encourage them to. You know, there's a lot of really good things about doing 6mm. Oh, I'm going to have to do his drum. Forgot about that. Need to remember which paint I used. I think... yeah, that's fine. I need to do that. I need to do the blue on that as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to come back to these again. I'm pulling up the these figures that I've previously done because they sort of teach me a lot and reminding myself what it is that I'm actually doing. Right, 3 dots, here we go. Not a lot of paint. 3 dots. 1. Actually, dot there. 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh, it's getting a bit thick. No. And down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Definitely better with less paint on your brush. Right, what we got, exactly, Johan, is how we see while blinking. I just do little red dots on the turrets of my 2mm T34s. Like that. It's a good little thought. 2mm T34s. It's really weird because I've only ever done 2mm sort of for Ancients and Lord of the Rings. So to think about doing sort of, I guess, more modern conflicts like the Second World War or even the Cold War in 2mm, something I've not done. So yeah, quite an interesting idea. Right, let's get 1, 2. Oh, that's rubbish. Right, he's going on a back rank. It's quite funny how I choose my front ranks and back ranks. Generally, it's on paint job. Quality of my paint job. Right, must have a drink in a moment. That's usually the thing I forget. So if you've been on the live stream before, you'll remember quite a few times that I've gone, oh, I haven't actually drank anything in the last hour. Right, lovely. That's a front rank, that's a rear rank. That's good. And then we'll have front rank, rear rank. Good. And then I'll work out which one's which. I think they're a rear rank, they're a front rank. Cool. Happy days. Look at that. Right. You know what I forgot to do with the reds? I forgot to do the hackles or the plumes. So let's get back into this. Let's do some plumes. Is that red going? Yes, it is. Right. Do genuinely love just how quick these are to paint. Just makes me a happy camper. I do not like spending too long painting. Much rather have them finished and get them on the table. And I'm sure many people are like that. You know, we're not all in this hobby for the love of painting, although there are definitely those out there who are. Piers Brown. No, he's I mean, to be fair, he does such a good job of painting. And I think the other thing, and one of the reasons why I got more into painting than I was originally, I used to hate painting figures when I first started wargaming, and then moved to America to marry my lovely wife, and didn't really have anybody locally to play games wise. So the hobby very quickly for me became more about the painting and collecting, which yeah, I guess you make the hobby what you want it to be. And for some people it's about painting, for some people it's about gaming. I think some people might even like it for the photography element of it, which, nothing wrong about that. I've got into that a little bit more myself as I've got a better camera, and hopefully you've seen in my thumbnails, then you'll agree that they're getting better as well. So again, another side of the hobby that I've got into that I wasn't really into before. I will admit they're getting better, but they're still not perfect. They could be better. I do like the storytelling aspect of them, Ooh. Right. What am I doing now? Let's take this light brown. This is Vallejo. It's a Flames of War one, but it's not, because it's a Vallejo one. It doesn't actually tell me the color. It's just light brown. But I'm going to use this for the drum and the drumsticks. I think that's what I used anyway. Trying to leave more black showing through this time, just to make it a little bit more defined rather than what it was last time, which was just massive blob of brown. Perfect. I think. Oh, hang on. Was it white on? Oh, may have done this all wrong. There's my command. Oh, it was white with brown. Okay. I have to go back and solve that. Let's let that dry, and then we can solve that with some paint. I need a bit of this. What was I using for there? So here's the next question, is I've forgotten what I've used for the pouch. This is water bottle. How is that? Apologies. one of my microphones died. Luckily, I've got a backup one. Just say they had a different batch of pouches. No sound. I thought he was concentrating. Yeah, no sound. Oh, I do apologise, guys. Do apologise. I was concentrating, but I was still yabbing on. What am I doing now? I don't know. What am I on to? Let's get the Sharpies out for a moment while I try to remember what I'm doing. My goodness, this is all good fun, isn't it? Really. Right, let's get the gold out. Good, now drink. Oh, guys, you are absolutely winning. Absolutely winning. Right. Love a good Sharpie pen. Fantastic. Because it's not paint. It's brilliant. Love it. Awesome. We've got 10 minutes, roughly. I mean, you know me, no hard and fast rule. Sometimes I'll go over, sometimes I won't. Depends on how I'm feeling today. I'm feeling pretty good, actually. And I've not got anything I've really got to run away for, which is encouraging. So may well just keep going. Those pens can be real game changers for small 100%. Well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of my painting guides for 2mm figures, but these are my go-to for doing helmets on small scale stuff. Particularly 2mm, because I literally am just running it over the top and basically using them and doing a dry brush. So yeah, definitely a winner all round. Lovely. A lovely, a jubbly, as Del Boy used to say. Right, there is the silver. Now it is time for a quick glance to see what I have missed, because ultimately I always miss something, so it's just a question of what I've missed. Got flags to put on those. I need to. It might actually look all right like that. I don't think I need any extra. Anything on here that I've missed? No, looks fine to me. I mean, let me just remind myself what the backs look like. Ah, that's it. That's what I'm missing on the back. The white dots to make up the straps for the packs. So I'll do those in just a second. I think everything else is covered. Right, let's get that white paint back out. Great for battle damage on shields as well. Quick scratch across the paint job. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Right, let's very small bit of white on the old paintbrush. Don't need it on that one, so let's go into here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Amazing how just 2 dots of white paint makes all the difference to these backs. Just makes them look so much better. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Lovely. And he's done it. Too much paint. Never mind. That'll just be... Yeah, recovered. Recovered. Luckily, it's on their back, not their front. Lovely. And one last pack. Lovely. Right. That is all of them done. The only thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of paint on the ground, on the basin, and that's white over there. And then that is these done. And then what I might do is just pull out some bases for the 2mm stuff and think about arranging that stuff around. Right, what have we got on the chat? Excuse me, maybe make a little chart of the steps you need to take, run it through the laminator and just mark it off. Yes, probably a very sensible plan. Yeah. I don't even use this brush for this step, so I'm not sure what I'm using that. Right. Oh, wow. It is quite amusing, Johan, because one of the reasons why I make painting guides, not that I consider myself to be a good painter, but because it's a way of me being able to watch back what I did, and remember how to paint the stuff that I'm painting. So yeah, that's why I do paint guides. Not really because anybody ever asked me for them, but more just to remind myself of how to paint what I'm painting. This paintbrush is a bit naff. I should have thought of that before employing it. Lovely. I'll have to check the football scores shortly because there is football going on tonight in the EFL Cup for those footballing fans. But that takes the fun away of forgetting Johan. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely, we have some fun, don't we? We do have some fun. And the thing is, what I will do is I will get really into a rhythm of painting British. It'll be going so well. And then I will change to painting French. And then I will forget my technique for British because I'll be painting French. So, yeah, stand by for that one. That's going to be a comic or an evening of comic mistakes. And of course, I've still got to work out how to paint the French when I finally get some of those figures. So, yeah, it's going to be lots of fun to be had along this project. I haven't even thought about. Well, I've thought about terrain. The battle scale stuff seems to be quite nice, and I may well go that way with it. So we'll wait and see. Again, I'm taking a lot of my lead, or a lot of the lead from James Wright and his project, because he's done some fantastic stuff, and I'm very much in awe of his 6mm project. In fact, at some point, I need to get some more ink in my printer so I can print some labels out for the back of the bases. And I'm pointing at something that you can't see, but yeah, basically on the back of the base along this edge, he's done unit names. So I will get his file. I think he said he'd send it to me, and then I can just put my own unit names on them. So the one that I've done so far, the only battalion that I've done so far, I have decided it's the 67th of Foot Regiment, which is the South Hampshires, which is handy because that's where I live. So yeah, we got Luke says my team is 3 divisions below EFL, doesn't affect me. So yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, I also follow, not particularly closely, but I follow Gospel Borough. So that's my hometown, and they are, I can't even remember what tier they are, 7 or 8 in the English football pyramid. So yeah, it's all good fun. Right, so that's the Napoleonics finished. Let's get some 20mm bases, because what I'm thinking of doing is using 20mm bases for the siege towers. And I think that is about the right size. If I put a bit of thin sand on, really fine sand on these, and I put some figures on these, they will look cracking. I think that could be a lot of fun. So what I'm thinking is that as we play the game, the siege towers will be moved across Pelennor Fields towards Minas Tirith, and if you can get them in base contact with Minas Tirith, each turn the Gondorian player will take a setback card. So that's what I'm thinking. I've got to have a really good think about it, but I don't know whether to do them on individual bases like this, or whether to do a lollipop stick and have how many have I got in total? I've got 8 in total, so I could do 2 lollipop strips, which would sit essentially in front of the main battle line. Might do that because it's kind of like skirmishers, like a skirmish line. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Let me just have a quick look and see if I've got thick lollipop sticks. I think I do. Yes, there they are. Sorry, they're called Jumbo Craft Sticks. If I did cut off the ends so that they weren't round, then I could put these here. I've got some big cave troll figures. No, that's not a good one. That's a better one. I've got some cave troll mini figures in here. So I'm going to put those pushing the backs of the siege towers, because that's what they did in the movie. And I've also got some metal 2mm figures from war bases that I'm going to scatter in between. So I think that might be the way to go. I might chat to my friend Mark about that. And then I've got I've got 2 trying to think what their names are. I don't even know if you can see that on camera, but if you can, it's the Witch King on, what are they called? I can't even think what they're called now. But I've got one I'm going to put on like a flight stand who'll be flying, and I've got one that is on the ground. Oh, he's very fragile, so I don't really want to. But yeah, basically it'll be like that. Although I need to work out what size. I think I did them on some round bases, but I think that'd be quite good fun. And then I've got these, which I think might be better as skirmish lines. Oh, there's one of the cave trolls. So yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to get the tweezers out. There's so many of them, and so little. Yeah, good fun. Fine sand, not paste. Yes, yeah. I generally use fine sand, and I just take it out of a sharp sand. I just pick out the sand, get rid of the small stones. A lot of people use labels in their games. They don't get confused. Yeah, that's and especially when you, I mean, the flag, the colours will look a bit different on these, but essentially, make sure that's in camera shot. Essentially, they're all going to look fairly similar. You might get the odd regiment like the 60th of Foot, who are actually rifles. They're American rifles, I think. They're the unit, but they wear green. And obviously, I've got my 95th Rifle Detachment here, who I quite like. I forget what colour I used. Oh, that would have been really helpful if I remembered. Oh, what did I use? Oh, no, that's it. I used Russian uniform. That was what I used. It was very useful. Right, Luke says, I use 20 mil for 6 mil. A certain online retailer does 300 for not a lot. Oh, as in 20 mil bases? So all of my British infantry that I've done tonight, they will go on 20 mil bases, and I get 2 ranks on a 20 mil base. And then I do 3 for a line infantry. I do 3 20 mil bases in a movement tray for a battalion. And I will have a video coming out about the movement trays and how I, and then maybe I'll do something on unit structures as well. Another video for anybody who's interested. But yeah, Nazgul riders. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, I got the Nazgul, and essentially these are going to represent my one of my heroes. So I say hero. So we're going to have a Nazgul ride. Well, we've got the Witch King on a Nazgul flying, and I've got one of him on the ground because in the game you're going to be able to land, but when you're flying over units, you can cause them to basically like fail. You're kind of intimidating them, and that will cause them to not be able to attack when they want to, or not be able to move when they want to. Now, the way you work out where they are, so it's going to be a blind. So I've got movement cards for the Witch King, and he'll play that onto his command board, and then in the turn, that will get turned over. We'll move the Witch King, and then if he's on a unit, because you won't know where he's going to be as the opposite player, the Gondorian player, and the Witch King will have an idea where he's going, but not which unit's going to be there. So it's all very exciting stuff. You have a K-Troll or 2. I do, Gabs. I have, I don't know how many I've got printed. It looks to be like at least 20 there, maybe 30. Because I'm going to have 2 on each of these. So I'm going to need 16 of those. And then I'm going to have some on a base, which, yeah, 20 mil by 20 mil base for a 6 mil or smaller mini. Yeah. So these are the riflemen. If that's in shot. And there's 4 of those on a 20 mil by 20 mil base. I think it works quite well in sort of like a skirmish order. But in terms of the line infantry, I get 2 of these strips on there, so they're quite nice. Quite like them. So I guess this is one of the other advantages of a live stream is if you want to ask me questions, you get answers to them. Unlike some of you just watching one of my videos, don't really get answers. They just get me rabbiting to them. Anyway, right. So that leaves me in a really, really good position. Get this battalion. I will get these based down onto my 20 mil bases in the next day or so. Once they've done that, I've got them all sanded. I'll then paint the bases, dry brush, add some flock. In fact, I actually do need to make some more movement trays, which is handy because I'm going to film that in the next couple of days, that episode. So that'll be really useful. And then I'll have them ready for this next battalion. I'm going for, I think I'm going to go for 3 or 4 battalions in this brigade. So I will need to do a brigade commander as well. So that will be another thing to do. I might even look to paint those next Wednesday, I think. Yeah, I think I'm around next Wednesday. So let's do a quick recap because I'm getting very confused about what my schedule is. So this Sunday coming, I've got my next video out, which is 6 mil painting guide for British Napoleonic figures. Next Wednesday, we'll have The next live stream, well, I'll be back for the live stream again. And then the following Sunday, I will be doing another video, which will probably be how I make my movement trays for these 6mm figures. Following that, I don't know what's going to happen because I know I'm away for work on a Wednesday coming up shortly, sometime mid-November. But I will obviously continue to try to do the old live streams as much as possible. I do also have, as Luke has just said, I've got some more Lord of the Rings stuff coming out. I'll have these guys showcased, the units I'm doing for this, and got some extra Lord of the Rings goodies, as in playing aids for my Lord of the Rings game, which I'll be doing at a Lardy Day in January, and that's been booked in today. So it is happening. I've just got to get the last couple of bits, which is basically what you see on this table minus the Napoleonic stuff. Get that finished, and then the cards, the gaming boards, all of that is well underway, and hopefully I should have those in probably the next month, next 4 weeks, so I can do some play testing with my friends at the club, and also obviously do a video to show you guys. So that's yeah, that is what I'm doing. Johan says I'll be using 20 by 20mm for my planned 6mm World War II armor. That sounds really cool. Seems to fit them best. Yeah, Luke, great painting, and I cannot wait for your Lord of the Rings. Sounds very exciting. Take care. Thanks, Luke. You take care as well. Gabs, yeah, gonna look impressive. Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited. It's gonna, I think, with Minas Tirith, with the all these little extra bits, it just all makes it really kind of look pretty cool. So I'm really, really excited for this. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week's live stream. Thank you ever so much to everybody who has tuned in this evening and commented and been in the chat. Thanks to all the new subscribers and all the people who watch my videos. And it's much, much appreciated. And don't forget to check my video out on Sunday. And I will see you next Wednesday for another live stream. And until then, take care, stay safe.